Otherwise, this one would stay in there.
Yeah, yeah.
This one won't fall out
Okay.
because it has the plastic
It's got all
nubs
the,
in there
the
that
nubs.
lock it
Yeah.
in. But here's some of the Sony Sony colored ones
Mm-hmm.
that I have.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So Sony did make a couple of colored ones.
Mm-hmm. I remember those. The disc. I think most of the discs that I saw were those Sony colored discs.
And here's a red one.
Yeah. 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 I remember
Looks
those
more
well.
red on camera.
Yeah. So when I worked at Sears back in the 90s, I made a few trips to the Summer Consumer Electronics Show, which is held in Chicago. And I do remember distinctly when the discs were first introduced at a consumer electronics show in the early 90s, 92, 93, something like that. And I was like really intrigued, fascinated by it, you know. And I expected the format to catch on much more so than it did. But what happened was, just like with DAT and with Beta Video, even though it's not the same as the Betamax tapes that were sold to consumers, Sony just transitioned Beta into a professional format, higher resolution, and it was used for years by news gathering organizations around the world. And the same thing kind of happened with DAT and with MiniDiscs. Professionals ended up using them more for like archival and general recording uses.
Just think, if this format took off, it would have replaced the compact disc.
Yeah, yeah.
We were headed in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
They did actually make drives for these for computers.
Mm-hmm. I do remember seeing a couple of computers with the MiniDisc drives.
And radio stations used them.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you could fit like jingles on them. You could fit a whole album on them.
Sure. You have to use those clunky cart machines.
Yeah, just slide a mini disc right in.
Yeah, and you're all set.
Because technically, you can fit a whole CD's worth of music on this.
Yeah.
I've made compilation discs.
Mm-hmm.
And this one right here is a compilation disc.
Okay, yeah.
I can fit anywhere between I've squeezed roughly 21 tracks on one of these before.
Not bad. Not bad.
On 74-minute ones.
Yeah.
And that's usually about average for a regular CDR too.
Sure. Yeah.
At the time, if you didn't have like a shorter track,
mm-hmm.
It varies. So
yeah.
And I think these discs were only about 100 megabytes or so.
Mm-hmm.
So having the 8-track compression really helped these because, how are you going to fit a CD's worth of music on these?
Yeah, you couldn't just based on the 100 megabytes of storage. So yeah, you needed a good compression standard and
and then later the compression standard ended up being lossless later on.
That's cool.
So the MiniDisc net MDs and the high MDs was recorded in lossless.
Mm-hmm.
So you could, in theory, as the capacity of the disc got large, or the capacity of the disc got larger. I mean, not size and diameter.
Right.
As they got into like the 1 gigabyte discs.
Yeah.
You could fit like days worth of music on it.
Sure. Yeah.
So the high MDs, I've never gotten into those.
Mm-hmm.
But these are just the standard. They had the high MDs, they had the net MDs.
Mm-hmm.
The NetMD players later on had a lot of issues. Reason being mechanism related.
Mm-hmm.
Because, the laser would burn out.
Ah, okay.
This unit was around when Brandon was born.
Jeez.
So this is one of the recorders / players from the 90s.
From the 90s, yeah.
So
yeah. See, I can't get over that. I still think of the 90s as just yesterday, but no, Juan, that was almost 30 years ago now. 1992 was 30 years ago.
And I'm kind of surprised that the door is opening really good now.
Yeah.
Because during the summer,
mm-hmm.
I think the heat and humidity made it stick more.
Yeah.
So now that it's getting cooler,
yeah,
the door is not giving me a pain now.
There you go. Yeah.
And then I take these out on my I take these out on my walks
mm-hmm.
at night.
Yeah.
Is I do walk at night.
Yeah.
And if there's anybody that is out,
mm-hmm.
they look at me like I'm crazy. Because I have this unit for one.
Yeah.
People will be like, "What the heck is he holding?"
yeah, I can see that.
The discs are only they're just like little mini floppies.
Yeah.
But it's an actual disc inside.
It's an actual disc that holds a hell of a lot more than floppies ever did.
and 60 to 74 minutes worth of music, sometimes 80.
Yeah.
I do have some 80-minute discs.
Mm-hmm. How reliable are those as far as playback ability, the 80-minute disc? Because sometimes
playback,
yeah,
they're pretty reliable.
Okay, because I remember doing some recording of music on disc CDs that were supposedly able to hold 80 minutes worth of music, and I would often have playback issues with them. Recorded just fine, but playing them back, you had to make sure you had a compatible player or drive to play them back, because some just wouldn't, do the 80 minutes.
It always came down to the player with CDR.
Sure, yeah.
The older the CD player is, it might not play the newer formulated discs.
That's interesting.
And the reason why is the new formulated discs are more transparent than the older ones.
Yeah.
And the laser will just shine right through it.
I just thought of something. It's not related to this, but it is related in a way. It has to do with bootleg VHS recordings. Back in the day of VHS tapes, when they were all the rage, what I discovered is I bought a very early VHS deck. Never thought I bought it. It cost like a couple $100. I bought it from Sears. It was a Sears branded one. It nothing special about it, except that when I got married, Brenda loved to watch movies. We would rent movies all the time. Yeah. And so one day, just as an experiment, I thought, I'm going to break out the old dusty VHS deck and see if I can make a copy of these tapes. Because we had tried it with a newer deck because she wanted to have a copy of a movie. I said, we're not supposed to do it. It's not legal. She says, oh, shut up. Make the damn recording. So I thought, okay, fine. Happy wife, happy life, right? So I busted out the old rusty dusty thing, and lo and behold, it was immune to copy protection. All of a sudden, I'm getting calls from like coworkers and friends like, hey, man, I know you got one of them old VHS decks, man. Come on, kid. I got this new Mad Max movie, man. I'd like to have a copy. Dude, could you do it for me? Help a brother out. Okay. Brenda told you, didn't you? Oh, yeah, man. Brenda's cool. She'd let me know everything. All right. So I'm Mr. Bootleg all of a sudden because those older decks were immune to the copy protection they built into the VHS tapes. So if you find a VHS recorder player from 1979 to about 1983 they're immune to copy protection if they still work. If your grandfather wants you to make a copy, could you make a copy of South Pacific for me? I'm just, your grandmother loves that movie, but I'm always tired of the old tapes. They're not always very reliable, and I know you got a good copy. Could you do that for me? All right.
Yeah. And CD recorders were the same too. You copy a CD once if it has the protection.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I had a CD recorder that had that. And I go to pop in the disc to make another copy.
Yeah.
And stupid thing wouldn't let me copy another disc. It would say copy protected.
Yeah.
Copy
Yeah.
protected.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, you bastard. This is only like record once.
Yeah. Oh, and then there was the one copy protection scheme that I think it was Sony who came up with it for their pre-recorded, their commercial, that was like, it would damage your computer if you tried to copy the discs.
And speaking of copy protection, this recorder does have the copy protection. Just to let you guys know.
Yeah.
That they started doing that in MiniDisc as well.
No surprise.
But it only worked over the optical connection.
There you go. There's the dirty little secret. Your workaround right there.
The only workaround is recording the whole entire CD analog.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you defeat the copy protection.
There's always a way.
So yeah, it's like damn copy protection. So yeah, back to the Sony rootkit thing.
Right. Yes. The infamous Sony rootkit madness.
That screwed up a lot of computers.
It did screw up a lot of computers, yeah. And finally, the government stepped in. U.S. And then in the European Union, they said, "Hey, wait a minute, wait. You're destroying consumer goods. Just for the sake of protecting the rights of millionaire music makers." And actually, it was the record labels. It wasn't the artists, because the artists don't get jack shit anymore. It was the record labels, their profits that we were infringing on. Because they always wanted, whenever there was a new type of recording device that could do high quality copies of music or video or whatever, the rights holders, the greedy movie studios and record labels, oh no, we can't have those things in the hands of consumers because they'll put us out of business. And what they discovered, they did research, and that people who made bootleg movies or downloaded MP3 files from Napster bought more music than people who didn't. Because they would, what happened was,
the Napster days.
Yeah, they would get the file on Napster and like, hey, this is cool. I want a high quality copy of this. I'm going to go out and buy the CD. The record labels didn't get that, but that's what was happening. That was the reality. They did the research. It's in the books. It's proven.
I used to burn my own discs from downloads I got from Napster.
Sure, lots of people did. But then they realized, well, wait a minute, but they're still selling the better quality stuff at Best Buy. I'm just going to go to Best Buy and get the best quality copy. So I got a lo-fi copy for when I'm just farting around. I don't give a shit. But when I'm putting on the big party, I break out the CDs I bought at Best Buy.
Yeah, I didn't care about quality back then.
Yes, a lot of people didn't. I did, but because I still to this day, I despise MP3s. But unfortunately, I went through that torrent phase, and those are the only copies of a lot of music that I have. It's MP3, so I got to play it. Yeah, you got to play this 96K MP3 because that's all you got.
And now I rip CDs in FLAC.
There you go. I do too, because thank God for the big hard disk capacity. Because everything I rip now, FLAC, everything.
Spotify is great and all.
Yeah.
But nothing beats the physical media.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah.
All these kids are like today, streaming's better.
No, it's not. You don't know what you're missing.
I mean, streaming's okay if you want 320 kilobytes per second audio that's compressed.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what it is
not really getting the full image.
It's dumbed down the listening experience because back in the day when it was just vinyl, the desire was to buy the most amazing killer stereo component system you could afford to get the most out of the music. I remember when my sister was in the Navy and she and her husband got married. They were big audiophiles, and they were both in the Navy. So if they're assigned to a ship that's going through like Hong Kong or Japan or something, look out. They're shipping the most amazing audio gear back to the States. I mean,
look out. Mr. Spotify says, don't make me join this call and debate you guys on this.
Oh, Lord. Brandon just eager to debate already. Come on. Save it for the baseball, Brandon. Save it for the baseball.
A compact disc has higher resolution audio than your standard streaming site these days.
Yeah, it does. I mean, there's no question about that. The listening experience has been dumbed down.
The bit rate on a CD is 14,011 kilobytes per second. That's the bit rate on a compact disc.
And that's the technical side of things. It's the ear test. You will hear the difference with a side-by-side comparison. You will notice immediately the difference.
Brandon says the compact disc is already dying.
In terms of sales of recorded materials, you're correct to an extent. It's not dead. I don't know that it's dying, but the market is down. And because of streaming is convenient. Everybody loves convenience. That's why there's so many McDonald's and Starbucks in the world. I'm hungry. I need something quick. Go through the drive-through at McDonald's or Wendy's. I'm thirsty. I need a coffee, but I'm on the run. That's why Starbucks has drive-throughs. But convenience and quality don't always mesh. Sometimes you get lucky. Have you had the Baconator burger at Wendy's? Sometimes you get lucky and you get both. But usually quality and convenience are, conflict with one another. And vinyl, no matter how good vinyl sounds, and I believe it sounds better to the ears than CDs, but technically, from a purely technical standpoint, the sound quality of vinyl is inferior to digital because digital records more information than you can get on vinyl, even the highest quality vinyl. But vinyl passes the ear test. I grew up with vinyl, and there is definitely a warmer sound that you can get out of vinyl. But that's because of the physical nature of the analog nature of the music. Analog always sounds a little warmer, but it's deceptive. If you listen to digital, direct comparison, if you're into detail, you're going to prefer the digital. If you like the warmth, you're going to prefer the vinyl. It's like this microphone here.
Oh, and I also found out too.
Yeah.
CDs have more dynamic range than what we found out with vinyl.
Yeah. But that warmth is what throws you off.
Yeah, it depends on how good a CD is mastered too.
It does. That makes a huge difference because the first generation of CD masters, some of them were awful because all they did was like just play the master tape and record the results on CD.
Yeah.
And they didn't do any tweaking or anything. And notoriously, the first generation of CDs that were released on the Motown label, all that classic Motown music, no justice was done to it at all. And it turned a lot of people off. Like, holy shit, is this what this is? Oh my God, this isn't what I remember. This isn't my Four Tops, damn it.
Oh, and I'm reading back at the chat, and Brandon says, it's dying. Even the RIAA knows it.
Jeez. Save it for the baseball. Relax. Come on, I need your energy for the baseball because I know we're going to get it. Jeez.
I mean, the RIAA is pretty much an archaic association.
Well, they've
been around. They've been around for a long time.
I don't know that they're archaic, but I do know that they're corrupt and greedy. But that's another story for another time. What is this? Art has.
He's got plenty of energy for baseball.
Okay. Oh, look at this. This is exactly what we need here. Take a look at the photo that Art has posted. It's like a nice calming picture. It'll make us all relax and chill. Look at that. That's just so peaceful and calming.
Just chill.
Yeah. Relax.
Take it easy.
Everything's going to be fine. Speaking of baseball, it's about time for the second half. See, Brandon's already champing at the bit, ready to go. Oh, God, I hope you guys brought your earplugs.
I know I brought mine.
Because I can only, adjust these levels so much, right? There may be clipping, and it can't be avoided. Hey, Robin, welcome.
Hey, Robin, welcome into the chat.
Yes. So anyway, I got a couple more questions about the MiniDisc format. You did mention, you answered one of my questions already, that there are companies that are still making recordable media, which is pretty cool because I wasn't sure about that. My research didn't get me to that point on the MiniDiscs. What do you know what companies those are?
I can look it up on Amazon.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
To have a bookmark saved.
Yeah. Are they companies like Sony or Maxell or?
Sony still makes some.
Okay.
And there is another company called HHB that makes some. They make the 80-minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You could get them in a 5-pack for $36.
Okay.
Sony still does their emerald green discs in a single pack.
Okay.
And let's see, is this discontinued by a manufacturer yet? No.
Okay, so they're still making it.
They're still making them.
Yeah.
And
they're not making beta tapes, but they're still making MiniDiscs. Okay, cool.
There's some high MD 1.0 gigabytes.
Okay.
So yeah, there's still quite a bit out there if people still want to get into this hobby of MiniDiscs.
Sure.
And they could start their own little mini collection.
Yeah.
Of recordable ones.
Yeah, that's that. I think that would be kind of a fun hobby, and frankly, I kind of seriously.
And people say don't buy the pre-recorded ones because those cost more than the ones you record on.
Okay.
You can make your own MiniDisc for half the price that you can buy in a pre-recorded one.
Yeah.
So that's where MiniDisc had its strength.
Sure. How much would a pre-recorded MiniDisc cost these days?
Oh gosh. if I look on Discogs, which is a site that you guys shouldn't go by anyways because it's like high priced.
I've been there. I've seen their prices. I know what you're talking about.
But I go on here to get album art because sometimes they
Sure.
have good album art. Mini discs. So I can look these up. Oh, I hit the caps lock. Whoops. They're selling recorded ones too.
Oh, okay.
There's even some that are Rolling Stones Turn It Up. Or Rolling Stone Turn It Up. It's a compilation.
Yeah.
This one is, I can't find a price on it. Oh, $16.50. About the same as
That's not a bad price, honestly.
CD.
Yeah. Yeah, roughly. For is that a new compilation?
No, it's from 1994.
Okay, that's an older one. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It was around the time of when MiniDisc was still in its infancy.
Yeah.
But they did release a compilation. I mean, there's like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Tori Amos.
Yeah. Yeah.
10,000 Maniacs.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously 90s stuff there.
Yeah.
Very, very 90s.
Of course, MiniDisc came out in 1992.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, it was launched in 92. But it had a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, it did hold on longer than the digital audio tape. I mean, for consumers.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mariah Carey Butterfly on MiniDisc. Let's see what the price is for this one. So far, I don't see a price on this one.
Let's see. I got Big Hits from 1966. I got Through the Past Darkly, 1969. 71 Hot Rocks. 72 More Hot Rocks. 75 Made in the Shade. 75 Metamorphosis. 1981 Sucking in the 70s. 1989 the London Years Singles Collection. 93 Jump Back, 71 to 93. 2001 The Very Best 2 CD set. 2002 40 Licks. 2005 Rarity, 71 to 2003. 2006 Hot 6, and then 2007 Rolled Gold Plus 2 CD. Those are all the Stones compilations I have. MP3, unfortunately, but 320K.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey, Daydream. From 1995.
What are they asking for?
$1.
$1? Jeez, how the mighty have fallen. Yeah, I got these Rolling Stones.
That's for a CD album, though.
Yeah, that's a CD album? Okay.
You ask for $1 for a CD album. See, Brandon, the CD isn't as bad as you think it is.
So I got some Billie Eilish here for $10, but you want Mariah Carey? I can get it to you for $1. That's all you need, $1. Just one
Brandon
$1.
Doesn't want to spend $10 to $15 for a CD, but he likes his Spotify.
Hey, you can keep your Spotify and your Joe Rogans and all that other crap. I ain't interested.
He knows I'm giving him crap.
Yeah, he deserves it sometimes. Oh, gosh. So anyway, have we covered everything? I don't want to miss out on anything that we might want to cover about MiniDisc before we take our break here and set up for the baseball.
Other than the format being somewhat reliable in the 90s, it did have a good run in radio.
Yeah, that's what I recall hearing and actually seeing a couple times. I was able to visit radio studios.
Like I'm pretty sure like a lot of the radio stations here in the Valley, like in the 90s, ran MiniDisc.
Sure, yeah.
Because they knew it was a viable alternative and they didn't rely heavily on computer automation yet.
Yeah.
So We should probably wrap up.
Yeah. Let's do that, and we're gonna take a short break, and then we'll come back on. And Brandon, we are using Skype, so stand by. I just need to refresh my palette, and I think I might need to get ready reconnected. So it'll be a few minutes, and we'll call it. Art wasn't around in the 70s. Oh, you missed a great time.
Hey, I wasn't around in the 70s either.
I know. Hot pants and bell-bottom jeans and disco. You missed it. You're better off, believe me. I graduated from high school, ladies and gentlemen, in 1976, okay? The bicentennial. There's a lot of red, white, and blue. And our tassels on our mortar boards in graduation were red, white, and blue. Yeah. 1976. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, eh? I will call you when we're ready. We're going to take a short break. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for enlightening us on MiniDisc. I found this fascinating because I'm a nerd. I will nerd out on all kinds of technology stuff.
Yeah, no problem.
So this was cool. Thanks a lot, and we're going to take a break.
We'll have to do this again.
Yeah, we'll do this again on this or any other topic. If you pick up another hobby, one of these days. Speaking of hobbies, I want to talk photography with Robin. Robin, we got to talk photography because see, you know how to do it. I still suck at it. One of these days, we're going to do that. Okay, so check your calendar and let me know what you can, and we're going to talk photography. We're going to bring lots of samples of your work, and I will dare to show off mine. Believe me, there's not much to show. Okay, all right, we're going to wrap things up, and we'll be back. Thank you, Aaron, again.
Yeah.
And enjoy the rest of the show.
Oh, I will.
And stand by to call back in just in case. All right.
Oh, I will.
All right, cool. I'll see you later.
All right.
All righty.